Hi, everybody. Linda Humphries, third generation gifted. When I was a little girl, my great aunt Julie, and my aunt Maudie used to have me talking to them about money. Don't know why. I was pretty little. The older I got, the more people would join in. I used to sit on my grandmother's front porch with her and my Aunt Julie, my great Aunt Julie, and my great Uncle Nicholas, who, by the way, died in 1918. Do the math. I was born in 1953. He died in 1918. I'm not real sure how this works. But when I adopted my dog Nicholas, and I was at the pound and they told me to walk him to see if I really wanted to take him home or not, when I decided I wanted to take him home and name him Alex, after my Uncle Alex, Aunt Maudie's husband, he jumped in the back seat of the car and there was Uncle Nicky wearing the sweater. And Nicky jumped on top of his lap. And I said, "You don't want to be called Alex?" And the dog turned around and looked at me like, "Are you kidding? This is my friend." So as I said, Nicholas, that you all like, that follow me on Facebook, got his name from my great Uncle Nicholas. And the reason I'm bringing up all of this talk about money is today's chakra is about money. And we all sit on it. Sorry to be graphic, but we do. We've talked about the crown chakra, which is where we cover the baby's head. We've talked about the pituitary gland, or the pineal gland, which is the controller of all of our endocrine system. We talked about the third eye, which is where I get myself in trouble because sometimes I speak up too fast about the guys that people are dating or about the jobs that are closing down, like when I said Anheuser-Busch was being sold that next year. And I said that Eversole Bank was being sold, that's here locally here in the Midwest area where I live. And some of my friends had to find new jobs real fast. And they were trying to figure out how I knew that. I don't know. It's a gift, okay? So then I talked about the throat. Front throat is what you talk with your vocal cords. Sometimes people would like me not to talk because they're scared of what I see. And also your thyroid. Back throat is when you don't say the words you want to say. This muscle tenses up, it goes all the way around your third eye, and you have a migraine for being a nice person. I also will tell you how to get rid of those if you look onto my website through Rolfing. ROLPHING. It's an article. Look it up by subject heading. You won't regret it. Then we talked about the front heart, which is really the heart itself. Please do not send healing to somebody's heart. Just pray for them and pray they get a good heart doctor. The back heart, which is self-esteem, which is a pink rose, and it stands for what you're worth and that you do know who you are. The front solar plexus region is all of those organs in there. Oh my gosh, there's a list. Okay? But the back solar plexus stands for when people hug you and they're holding on and they're holding on and they're holding on. And all of a sudden you feel like, oh my gosh, my liver's about to die. It's because they put their little umbilical cord in you. And every time they feel bad, they go, oh, I think I should call Linda. But I really don't want a reading. I'll just call her and tell her I'm talking to her as a friend. That'll work. And then my liver starts hurting, and I know you're not talking to me as a friend. You want a reading. So I have to pump the thing because I know I'm going to get mad. And I know you really need a reading instead because you've stepped in something that's really stinky. So, as I say, we went down to the spleen. The front spleen is definitely your spleen, where you hold the blood to fight off meningitis, to fight off getting sick with lung infections of all kinds, including pneumonia. Or if you're in a car accident, It gives you the extra blood you need. Then you go to the back one, and what does it do? It's your compassion, passion for people, and sometimes, like with me, when I was a teenager, you could use a Codependence Anonymous group. So you don't drop everything you have to do and go take care of those people. Then we went to the belly button. It is where you got all the milk and all the nourishment from mom. Then when they cut you off from mom, it's self-sufficient. It doesn't need you to do anything for it. It's controlling all of the chakras. So leave it alone, people. Then we went to the sex chakra area, which is about the organs of the body down there. But it also can be affected by your compassion and passion for people and anger and all kinds of things. Because some people that have very, very bad anger develop cancers. They have all kinds of stuff go on. So I'm telling you to release all that. Then we go back to the area I'm talking about behind you, the back base chakra. The back basic chakra says, this is my material wealth. This is what I'm worth. My favorite story about that was from Master Choco Sui from Pranic Healing. He said when Master Ko joined his group, he looked at his base chakra. It was redder than a fire truck, and it was big and way out there. And he said, I need him to take my place when I'm not here anymore. Kind of weird, considering the man didn't feel energy. Kind of weird, considering the man was an electrical engineer. But he could see by him that he had a big base chakra, which means everything down there was about family too, not just about money. Because your base chakra is about, are you, by how red that is, big enough to engulf everyone around you? The first thing that I was told by Rosie Constantino was, you have a big red chakra in the back of you, running around behind you. You need to let it catch up to you. I just looked at her and went, huh? She said, you're not asking for what you're worth. Well, I got cancer from the other psychics telling me to ask for what I was worth. But I realized Rosie didn't mean it that way. She meant it that I was advertising her as a psychic. I was advertising Janine Coloni, Faith Robinson, Stella Jan, Stella's partner, Leland. I wasn't advertising Linda Humphries. There was no sign outside my door that said Linda Humphries can do everything they can do, and more. I was going in Belleville here to teach classes with Terry Engel. There was no Linda Humphries can teach a class sign. And it took Rosie Constantino passing away before I put out a sign that said Linda Humphries teaches classes. Linda Humphries is going to start working psychic fairs. Don't allow your best friend to pass away before you put out the sign that says what you're worth. And in your job place, even though you've only been there several months, and I have to get my friends, and I hate to say this like this, but a lot of my clients have been with me since they're 17, like my video photographer. And there are times I have to get them to realize that they can do anything. And it doesn't come from the lectures that I've given them. It comes from that I know what their base chakra reads like. And I know they have it in them. She has now got her CPA. 3 of my girlfriends from out in Kansas City. 1 is a realtor. Fabulous young lady. And she knows what you need and how you need it. Get on my Facebook site. You'll see posts from her all the time. live in the Kansas City area. She'll now be doing Kansas City, Kansas, not just Kansas City, Missouri. She's fabulous. She doesn't try to sell you something you don't have the money for, but she tries to find you what you do need, and she can sell your place in a minute. But as I said, these young ladies didn't learn from me, they learned despite me. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. But they learned because they found their worth. So I don't want anybody out there not finding their worth. I want you all to know your worth. And I want you all to understand why. And I'll repeat it over to you. Why it's important to understand that the bottom Kundalini chakra is red. It's red to do with the family relationship you have with yourself. Not just with relatives and friends, but with yourself. And what you are worth and how you need to put a value on it. I told the one gentleman I read for, and I know he won't mind me sharing the story since I'm not saying his name, that he needed to think about why his boss was telling him so much that was going on in the company and about the new job that was going to be posted. He said, well, I haven't been there long enough to apply for it. And I said, if you look down one more time, I'm going to smack you. And he goes, well, I haven't been there long enough. And I said, why do you think a man who's in charge of a corporation that does $1 million deals would tell a newbie who's only been there 4 months about a job position that's coming up that would give you a raise of $25,000 a year? If you guys don't get it, you're as bad as he was. He now works that job. So as I said, if you are being told about a job that's going to be promoted and going to be out there by a boss that you've only worked with for a few months, take the hint. Don't be afraid to apply. If you don't want to do the job, no, don't apply. Let somebody else get it. But never underestimate the power that you have to move yourself ahead. As I said, I'd be honored if you follow me again, as I said in many other videos, on my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook. Every full moon, I have you write out a list of yellow line paper projects that you want to have done on yellow line paper with a red pen, and read them again on the full moon. This month here that I'm recording this on, 12/12/2019, was powerful because we're going to have a solar eclipse on the 26th, which will charge up our projects even more. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe and look on my website. God bless.